How do we know this is happening? Well, there was a tour stop at Universal Studios or wherever they're filming this thing for the Batman or the Aquaman or the Aquaman, the Bat, whichever's. And Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa just chilling, sitting outside near the studio on just having a smoke, drinking some coffee, chilling out. And tour bus just goes by and say, "Ain't that Ben Affleck? Ain't that Jason Momoa? Isn't that the Aquaman 2 set? Dude, Ben Affleck's in Aquaman 2." So we have official word that Ben Affleck, the Batfleck, the Ben Affleck, Batfleck, will be in Aquaman 2, has some sort of appearance in Aquaman 2. What does this mean for the multiverse appearances of the Batmen, including the rumored appearance of Michael Keaton in upcoming films? We shall see going forward. Let's go to the next story, which is Britney Spears won't have to sit for a deposition by father's lawyers, judge rules. This is a big deal as Britney seems to be winning a lot in court against her father, Jamie Spears. Jamie Spears is trying to basically prove that he didn't steal any money or steal any sort of fame, fortune, or whatever from Britney Spears for all those years that he was in control of her with the conservatorship. Basically proving that he wasn't such a bad dad, but actually a fairly good business person. Part of that was going to be Britney Spears sitting in front of deposition to say how good or bad he was, hopefully in the father's defense. This is not happening at this point, so we're going to see that going forward. Let's go on to this one. A $25 million lawsuit filed over Sesame Place accusations. We used this in our cover for today as this story keeps going bigger and bigger. Now there is a group of families who are suing Sesame Place specifically, and this may spill over to the SeaWorld, Busch Gardens people who actually own Sesame Place, and of course the Sesame Workshop folks who license out the actual characters, about various times where apparently Rosita is just a racist outright, because it seems like the Rosita character is the character getting caught waving off or not hanging out with the actual black kids. This seems to be not just an isolated incident. It seems to be happening, or at least getting caught on tape pretty frequently, of kids who are of darker complexion not getting any love or hugs or any real interaction whatsoever from characters at Sesame Place, specifically Rosita. And I don't know what her problem is. What they're asking for in the $25 million lawsuit is essentially basic, better training for how to deal with kids in the situations. Now, on the flip side, the retort of that is it's hard to see people in those costumes. And if you've ever put on one of those mascot costumes, we had an old mascot costume that we found in the back of the prize closet at the radio station once that they stopped using, like a decade prior. And we all were kind of goofing around, put it on to see how it felt. It's kind of restrictive. It's kind of hard. You got to feel for the Philly fanatic. You got to, give big ups to the mascots out there doing their thing in that stuff. Super Herbie, yeah, but the actual Herbie, dude, that's got to be killer. So we're going to see how this thing progresses now that this is becoming a real deal and money is on the line. Not that it was not a real important deal in the first place, but now that there are lawsuits going in there, it's more than just feelings. It's now about cash. Let's move on to Beyond Meat as they are being moved beyond by McDonald's. McDonald's is not going forward with the McPlant burger. The test audiences, the test tasters, the test people in their test kitchens did not like the test. McDonald's not jumping on the bandwagon for fake meat burgers. The McPlant will not go forward for a nationwide reveal. Beyond Meat stock basically crashed on that one yesterday because they know they're not going forward anywhere. I can't think of anybody who was clamoring for these fake meat things. There are people who are vegetarians who want to eat things and want to have an option at some of these places, but most of the vegetarians I know, vegans in case, basically avoid the fast food burger joints because they're serving meat all day. Yeah, they have salads, but yeah, they're serving meat. What's the point? Beyond Meat will have to find some way to rebound. They probably will in the mansion. I'm seeing new ads with Kevin Hart. I'm not sure if Beyond Meat's the actual brand, but selling some sort of non-meat, soy, plant-based burger product on a grill, things like that. We'll see how that rolls out going forward as well. Adidas won't renew new NHL jersey deal after 2023-2024 season. Pretty simple story. They've been doing the jerseys for the NHL for about 20 years or so, and Adidas is now cutting out of the jersey business, at least for the NHL. And this is a simple story. This is an interesting story. This is a water cooler thing, and the main reason was to get that song in your head. And you know what song it is, because now It is in your head. It'll be stuck in your head all morning. You're welcome. A Texas teen raises over $700,000 for abortions after Representative Matt Gaetz mocked her. So Matt Gaetz was speaking at a group, and this is not the group of teenagers, which he should not be speaking at because he's up for charges of pornography and things like that. But this is early on in the speaking where he said the people who are basically doing the big main fighting, the people who are doing the main hustle, the main struggle for abortion rights are people too fat and ugly to get abortions, mocking people on that one. Well, a teen in Texas who basically was mocked for being fat and ugly by Representative Matt Gaetz used this thing as the politicians do. They use a blurb and take it on their fundraising tours, and she raised $700,000 for help in abortion care for folks in Texas and maybe neighboring states, how it works out. This one young lady was able to take that statement and move with it, a move afoot to make $700,000 worth of donations happen to help out the cause. So congratulations on outsmarting Matt Gaetz, even though outsmarting Matt Gaetz probably isn't all that difficult because it's Matt Gaetz. Let's go to CNN's John Berman hits Raising Cane CEO for buying employees another $500K in Lotto tickets. We talked about last week on Thursday or so when the CEO of Raising Cane's bought a lottery ticket for the Mega Millions for every single one of his employees, basically roughly 50,000 of them. When the jackpot was expected to be about 780 million, it turned out to be 820 million that day or something like that. Nobody won. None of his tickets won the big prize. We don't know if they won any money, to be honest. So what I came back saying on Monday was, great stunt, good for Chicken Finger Day, which was Monday. Guess what? Probably won't happen again. Well, he did it again. Another 500,000 tickets, which is $100,000, $2 per ticket, assuming they didn't buy the multiplier, which makes no sense. So it's $200,000 spent. CNN's John Berman interviewed the CEO yesterday, asking him the flat-out question: if you're going to give away $18,000 to each person if they won the Mega Millions and whatever it is the $1 billion prize is now, why not give a share of that 50,000 ticket buy or 100K, now 200K, to your employees? Just give them a couple $1,000s and roll along with it. Fair question, fair assessment. Why? Because we're talking about Raising Cane's, and Raising Cane's is not a national chain. It's a chain that's popping up in different places here in the South. But now Raising Cane's is raising its portfolio. That's why he's buying all these tickets. They can afford it, and it is what it is. Now, apparently, I'm an idiot, which is not apparently, but apparently I went the full row for the first two stories. So we're going to redo quickly the main story, not the top story for the day, but the main story, because this is a big deal. But Donald Trump to play with Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau at LIV Golf Pro-Am. Now, this happened, we're going to do this quickly because I already did a whole big old spiel that was beautiful and lovely, and you missed it, so gosh darn it. But essentially, Donald Trump has forgotten about the times, about 20 years ago, when he blamed the Saudis for 9/11, and now he's taken Saudi money to play golf at his golf course because he's a grifter and he likes money. He also appeared without his normal makeup regimen, probably because it was really hot and would have been kind of really crazy, looking really, really, really bad. We're going to shy away from just the physical description, sort of joke, meme stuff, but go check out a couple pictures of Donald Trump out there on the links yesterday. They are not pretty, and you can see it's extremely obvious how much extra work is done just for him to look decent in the sunlight, in the fluorescent lights, let alone the sunlight. Okay, we good? We good? We good? Okay, let's move on. Teaser story for this morning. And this is one that I really want to get into, so hopefully this one will last a weekend and go all the way through. Yesterday we had the story about Kyler Murray and his new contract with the Cardinals that says he's got to have, hours of independent study. He has to go sit and watch game film on his own because they'd like to watch some game film. And it seemed like a kind of quirky thing. It also seemed kind of a dig, which it was. But after sunlight, some coffee, and a little time together with actual people, turns out many people saw this as another slight against black quarterbacks, basically saying they're not smart enough, they're kind of lazy. Excuse me. And they just don't have what it takes to really do this thing. Saying that Kyler Murray had to have it put in his contract that he had to go watch game film because he does not have the desire or the motivation to go do it on his own and be a better player. They took that clause out of his contract. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be something we can chat about come Monday if you engage in this one high enough. So if this is a story you deem good enough to talk about, it's got to fight over 90 different stories, but it'd be one of the top 30 stories in that range. You can make that happen. More on the feeds in a moment, but basically your engagement on this story, which is already on the feed, so you can go see this once we get done with this thing. You let us know if this is good enough to go for that one. You let me know if it's good enough to get your money right by going to Fundrise. Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/fundrise today and get yourself into the world of real estate investing. And it's just like investing in stocks, in bonds, in mutual funds, in municipal bonds for your city. You are paying into a portfolio that is managed by other people. They go out there and buy the properties. They go out there and rent the properties. They go out there and renovate and sell the properties for you, and you get dividends off the profits. It's that simple. You can check out things as they add and subtract to your portfolio. You can check out things going forward, and you can get into the world of investing in real estate without all the craziness that is dealing with the real estate. The market is a little crazy right now, but the prices are up. However, the actual investment gains aren't quite so up because of the weirdness of the market. You can make yourself get into this thing right now, have a bit more stability, and make good profits. I will tell you, I have made about 6% investment, 6% on my investments in Fundrise since the beginning of this year. I began in January, right before I found them as a sponsor. I began with Fundrise for about a month and then took them on as a sponsor. And then since I've been with Fundrise since January, I've got a 6% return on my money this year. Now, it's not massive money. This is not my retirement funds. These are just side investments to do some diversity to help out the retirement funds. Check them out for yourself. This is theconversationproject.com/fundrise. They are still giving extra shares into the funds, and you get your advisory fees free for about 30 days. So put in as much money in as you want to up front, and it will be, free money off the top. Let's get to the news sites, the websites, the places of note to talk about for the Conversation Project. Main one is thisisaconversationproject.com. That is our website, which houses lots of things, but it houses things such as our information on the Conversation Project, the sponsorship links for all our sponsors, the feeds that gives you the things that's not the right scroll. Them's the feeds right there, and the partnerships page so you know how you can partner up with us there as well. The feeds are on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and every 15 minutes we post a new news story. Check it out, engage with it, like it, love it, hate it, share it. As you get deeper into it, you will see that you may like a couple things. The more engagement you give a story, the better chance we talk about it in the next upcoming episode. On Monday, we're going to talk about probably 11 to 12 stories from the top 30 stories out of 90 for the weekend. You will pick those stories. On the TikTok, at The Conversation Project. On YouTube, at The Conversation Project. Check us out, especially on YouTube, so you get this 5 days a week with sound most days. And as you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit notifications so that when we go live with sound on most days, you can see us and sometimes hear us do rundown stories for your coffee talk. Let's get to some things of note on today, starting off with some birthdays. Ken Burns, the documentary filmmaker, is 69 years old today. Alexandria Paul, who is basically biggest known for her time on Baywatch, but did lots of great things and still doing some great stuff as well. Turning 59 years old today. Baywatch, quite a time a bit. And Will Wheaton, making you feel really, really kind of old now. He's turning 50 years old on the day, making his breakout in Stand By Me, and of course being hated by millions of people for being Wesley Crusher on Star Trek Next Generation. Will Wheaton has big in the nerd culture, big in the movie film stuff, big in sci-fi stuff, and really big in talking about things like mental health. He's turning 50 years old on the day. Celebrating a great day today, National Chicken Wing Day today. So get out there and enjoy some wings, whether you like them fried, you like them roasted, you like them wet, or you like them hot. Enjoy those wings. Oh, by the way, how do people enjoy those wings? That's our out-of-the-door fact today. A new survey finds Americans prefer boneless wings over bone-in wings, which is ridiculous because boneless wings are chicken nuggets. It's the truth. But they're buying boneless over bone-in by a margin of 2-1. And of those who actually do the bones, I'm not sure how I misspelled bone in and have bon in, 2/3 are pulling for the drumsticks, which themselves aren't actually wings because they're legs, over the flats, which are the actual wing parts. So there you go. People are choosing boneless wings and choosing to call them boneless wings when they are, well, boneless, but they're not wings. Fight that one all day long. Friday, July 29th, 2022. We survived the week, which is good. We didn't survive the day without glitches, which is not as great, but hey, there you go. It's all stuff on that end. Sometimes, it's good to just make it through the day and keep on moving. And that's what we did today. Thank you so much for all the folks who gave love on the week. Thank you so much for my mother-in-law, Sharon, and my boy, Josh. You make sure you stay cool and stay safe out there. Christine with a K, who was chiming in and make sure that I know, now at least, that I talked for a good 5 minutes with no sound. Probably the best show we've had all year, but that's debatable. Make sure that you are keeping up with us at our main website, thisisconversationproject.com, because we have lots of stuff there. If you think we're doing good stuff, even when we're not talking, maybe you want me to talk less, go to the partnerships page and let me know. Buy me a coffee, send me some Venmo or some Cash App cat funds or some other things there, and we can talk about things to improve on as well. Make sure you are watching, checking out there, subscribe to the newsletter so you get these things going forward. I think it might get skipped today because we're a little behind in some stuff. Part of the reason why that I was silent. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you see the cup. Stay limber and stay on task. It's been a long week. It's been a great week. I personally have some things to do, and I've got a big chat with some friends. We have an online chat for folks who can't make it to a big homecoming ceremony this afternoon, just so we can be together. So we're going to take care of that. So other than that, we're planning to do this thing Monday morning. We're doing a physical move of the studio, so we'll see how much studio we have come Monday and see how well we'll do. Maybe a real bookcase? You shall see. So without further ado, we're wrapping this thing up. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. I am done for the day. That was it got distracted. Sorry about that. Jay Cleveland Payne wrapping up for Things Matter for this Friday. We'll be back with a more focused Monday. We hope, and we also hope we have sound as well. Both of those things, not quite guaranteed yet, but we'll figure it out come Monday. Thank you very much.